We now speak to Benson Ngqentsu from the Western Cape South African Communist Party. He is the Provincial Secretary as the movement calls for the immediate resolution to the Cape Town strike. Benson, thank you so much for your time here on the late edition. Of course, we now know that this strike has been taking place for far too long. And I mean, this is leaving, the commuters here stranded.
Yes, Mbali. Firstly, I think as the SACP would like to make a statement which condemns, with the strongest terms possible, what appears as heightened acts of vigilantism. And on this score, we are saying to the taxi bosses, move beyond the condemnation using the media. Expose and isolate all thugger or criminal elements from your ranks if they exist, hand them over to the police. Because what was supposed to be a peaceful strike risk denting the image of this industry, and the taxi industry also risk alienation. That's the first point. And because we can't keep quiet when innocent people are killed, when workers across sectors of the economy are losing day wages, when private property is damaged. But it's important, Mbali, also to attempt getting to the root of this problem. And such a root includes what you call the neo-colonial mentality of the city of Cape Town-led administration, which is the underlying causes that provoke the taxi strike and violence. For impounding taxis, the taxi bosses, as we met them, explained how this happened and their commitment to ensure that minibus taxis are roadworthy, and that though not roadworthy, they must be impounded. But it cannot be correct for the city of Cape Town to use impounding of vehicles for revenue generation. This obsession is a problem. It does not only affect the taxi industry, it affects hawkers, the so-called informal traders. It affects many people here in the city of Cape Town, electricity tariffs, water tariffs. So, generation of revenue must not be used as a basis to destroy black business in particular, because the taxi industry is constitutive of the restrained section of the workers. That is why the SACP has been calling for the transformation of the transport, so that it can be professionalized, and that also there are no criminal elements from within its own ranks. And lastly, I must make this point: we call on employers across sectors of the economy to put the safety of the workers first, and not punish workers who are unable to go to work for fear of their safety.
Benson, why does it seem here that there is this tug of war between all the representatives? Of course, it is indeed the city, the province, the national government, and it seems as if nobody's willing to find each other in the middle here and to come to a final resolution. I mean, we've seen the interventions even coming out, from the minister's department. Why do we find ourselves at this impasse?
The elite mudslinging is a problem, and certainly some might have already kickstarted their elections work or campaign. And there is no doubt in our mind that here in the Western Cape, the DA is bent to destroy ANC stronghold areas in this instance, and ensure that there is no unity amongst black working class in particular, be it those from Mitchell's Plain or Kaibiti. So this is orchestrated. By the way, it does appear that there is a relationship between reluctance by the DA government in the city to cooperate and tomorrow's Women's Day, which the president was supposed to encourage. But unfortunately, in this country, we're in an autopilot, because the president should have stamped his authority and ensure that he decisively intervened He can't just run away and abandon the program on the basis of an arrogant J.P. Smith. That we don't accept. Yes, we commend the Minister Susindiso Chikunga for her efforts, but it's not enough. She must do everything, anything possible to ensure that impounded taxes are released, operations resumes tomorrow, so that the already vulnerable economy can run smooth.
Yeah, and Benson, you're touching on the issue that this may seem as if it's electioneering here. We know that next year will be the 2024 elections. Why do you say that this seems to be some sort of a political campaign for the upcoming elections?
Political campaign cannot be at the expense of the lives of innocent people. It cannot be at the expense of our economy. We must put our people first in this instance. Therefore, the matter must be resolved. The minister, importantly, the president must decisively intervene. The president can't fold his arms and run away. He must provide leadership, assert his leadership. We can't be subjected to this attack by this racist GA-led government, the city of Cape province. This is not only in Cape Town, but across other parts of the province, because our people live in fear because they do not know what the future holds for them. The criminal network is actually in charge, and the law enforcement agents are actually unable to deal with it, to contain the matter. Where is our intelligence? Our intelligence must not be used for palace politics, must be used to deal decisively with issues of this kind. This country must be protected from the criminal network. This country must be protected from the irresponsible DA-led administration in this city of Cape Town. That's the line from the party.
Benson, you are also saying, when it comes to, you stay in the Western Cape, and I'm sure you've seen the impact of this and what it's done to commuters. Perhaps maybe, just give us a bit of a picture, paint us a bit of a picture here in terms of the people you have seen and you have spoken to, how this strike has actually affected the lives of those living in the city of Cape Town.
One, roads have become sport fields for the kids. Two, school kids are able to go to school, particularly in working class communities, right? The economy is on standstill. And sadly, this whole impasse affects the workers and the poor, not the middle class and the rich who live in Constantia and other areas. So it's quite dire. A school inside C, of which one of my comrades, the principal of the school, right, was set alight. He is unable to go to the school and inspect on the basis of this criminality. And the police force, including the city of Cape Town, is unable to contain this crisis of criminality and sadly of vigilantism.